Hi, I'm Bobby Peer with TAPinto, and I'm here today with Mayor Angie Devanney
Hi.
and Debbie Varnerin from the Recreation Commission.
Yes. Hi, Bobby.
I'm so happy to talk to you guys and get caught up, right?
Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
It's been a while,
Yes.
but I really want to hear about, the hot topic, which is the Lower Columbia field.
Sure.
And I would love for maybe Deb, you could speak on behalf of the Recreation Commission or on your own and talk about really where we are and what the process was to get to where we are right now with this field.
Sure, Bobby. No problem. I would like to say, though, that I am speaking on behalf of myself and not the entire commission.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. No problem. So the process has been lengthy and slow, as is any project, construction project that you work on, whether it's an addition on your house or, putting a new bathroom in. There's certain steps that you have to go through and things that you have to get done. So once the lease agreement was signed, probably the week following, we had reached out to the engineer that does a lot of business with the township. He's familiar with the township. He's familiar with the soils in town.
And this is Mike Mistretta?
So the firm that Mike Mistretta works for,
Okay.
yes, which is Harbor Consultants. Yes, and again, the big reason why we chose them is because they've been doing business in Berkeley Heights for probably over 20 years now, right,
absolutely.
Angie?
Yeah.
So we thought that they would be best fit because of the different type of soil that we have here in town. We have clay soil, so it's
right.
not easy to work with, like other towns. So we got the lease agreement signed. I did have to send the lease agreement over to the engineering company because you cannot survey land that is not yours or that you don't have like some sort of agreement with to do maintenance. So that's why getting the lease agreement was important for us to start the process. So the first step in the process was to do the land survey so that they can see the topology and what the different levels are for them to be able to design a field for us. So one thing with Harbor is they use the drone technology, which not a lot of engineering firms do use. So they did fly the drones around the whole Columbia Middle School property, which is I think 3 separate parcels. Because that's so much data, it took about 4 days for that data to be uploaded into their system, so that they can actually then start to design the turf field. So while that data was being uploaded, the engineering company had consulted with their environmentalist, as well as he had gone down there and just did a visual survey of the land to see, what kind of condition it was in. And there's also a website, the New Jersey DEP website, that you can go on and see where wetlands are and flood zones and things of that nature.
That's where I was wondering, when did this all come into play, this whole DEP and wetlands?
Yeah, so it came into play at the next step after the survey was done. Then the environmentalist got involved and they took soil borings. And those soil borings, the environmentalist identified that there's hydric soil down there. So hydric soil is an identification that it's wetlands. They can also see, visually, you could see that wetlands can be identified by certain vegetation, but that was not visible on the field. The field has grass, and the grass is well maintained. So that's kind of where we came to a screeching halt. Of course, when we got this news, I was heartbroken because this has been something that I have pushed for I think 7 or 8 years
Wow.
now. So it's and I think, yeah, out of everybody, even you, Angie, I think I'm like the longest standing person
I was going to say,
involved
there's a
in
lot of
this.
administration changes since 7 to 8 years
Yes.
ago.
So to say that I was devastated when I heard this news is an understatement. Um, of course, when I got this information, I asked a lot of questions. I reached out to the township engineer, friends.
To really potentially get a second opinion. You know, it was sort of very surprising, I think, to all of us that this was the determination. And at one point, I think we were, thinking about a second opinion, if you will.
Right, an official second opinion.
Right.
But the more people that we talked to, people that I know in the industry, because I do work for the borough of Mountainside part-time. So I spoke to their engineer and some other people that I know that do business with Mountainside, just to see if there's any way around this. And they were kind of like, no. Well, there's one way around it, but it's a very costly and time-consuming option.
Okay.
And that option would be to say, okay, well, we're going to build something on these wetlands, and in turn, we're going to take this property over here and turn that into wetlands for you.
Like a swap.
Yeah, and that's pretty incredible that you can do that, but there's costs attached to that, right?
Yes.
Time restraints.
Yes, we were advised that it would be hundreds of thousands of dollars in permits and several years.
And then find at the end of it, DEP regulations change yet again.
Yes.
And you've expended all this time and energy, and you still can't do it because something changed.
Right. And with the option of doing the land swap, per se, there's no guarantee that you spend all of this time and all of this money. There's no guarantee that you're going to get approval from the DEP. We all know that officials in government change. They might not be there. Let's even say in 6 months, it might not be the same people.
It probably won't be to some degree.
Right. So that too is something that needs to be considered.
There's too many unknowns.
Yes.
To be comfortable spending that kind of money that we don't necessarily.
In soft costs. I mean, that isn't even construction. That's just soft costs. Or you can hundreds of thousands, if not $500,000 before a shovel even, is in the ground.
Right. And while we were going through this entire process, because like I said, this is 7-8 years for me, the last few years, like maybe 3 years, the DEP has changed their classification of what a turf field is. And a turf field is now considered an impervious surface. Even though water can drain through it because it has its own drainage system underneath it, they're now classifying that.
So there's regulations about that.
Yeah. So the longer you wait, you don't know what other regulations are going to come down the line and maybe make it even more difficult for us to put a synthetic turf there. So the ultimate goal for everybody is to provide a safe, usable field for the entire community. Mm-hmm. The field that's down there, it's not in good condition. So that's why we pivoted and we said, let's now start to explore a natural turf sod field. We are going to put in, I'll say a drainage system of sorts with irrigation system to make sure that we can maintain it better than the grass that is the natural grass that's down there now, because I know that is probably a concern of folks. Like, if the field that's down there now is in bad condition, what are we going to do to make sure that the new field
Right.
does not.
So this field will service the Columbia Middle School like soccer team and PAL soccer, as well as would it also entertain like Berkeley Heights Youth Soccer Club as well? Whoever can use the field, right?
Right.
And football, is it?
Right. Sure. I mean, we are going to have to be careful with the usage.
Okay.
Because it's not synthetic.
It's natural, right?
So the benefit
There'll be
to
wear and tear.
synthetic is you don't have to worry as much about the wear and tear as you do on a natural turf field. But there are a lot of options that we have. One of them being, let's take soccer into account. Soccer starts at a very young age. Maybe we, outside of school
I think it's the
Mhm.
priority.
usage,
Right.
because they of course would have the priority to use it for whatever they want. But outside of what the Board of Education needs it for, maybe we target mostly the younger youth.
Okay.
They're smaller, they're not going to have that much impact on a natural turf field as the older kids
And
would.
most of those practices and games are on the weekends at that age.
Yes.
I mean, it's really the Berkeley Heights Youth Soccer Club that has the practices during the week and so forth.
Yes,
So-
and we can still keep the bigger kids on Snyder, which is the synthetic turf,
Mhm.
and we can have the younger groups use the grass field.
And then there's
ahead.
lighting involved as well.
Yes,
So there can be night games.
yes,
Great.
yes, and you won't have to end a game early. I know that last year we had a late start in one of the soccer games up at Governor Livingston, and we actually had to end a game early because there were no lights and it got too dark. So the referee ended the game. So that won't happen. So all in all, I mean, are we disappointed? Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed, but I think to get the community a field that again can be used, it's not going to be the hard clay soil because we are going to put a sod and some sand and topsoil underneath that. So it's not going to be that hard brick clay that's
Okay.
down there now. That is hard to grow grass on. We're going to have an irrigation system so that we can, seed it and water the seeds so that the grass can rejuvenate.
Okay.
Again,
and the town will maintain that. That won't be the Board of Ed. This
Yes.
is
Right, it's
solely,
part of it.
it's your lease.
Agreement,
So-
right? The lease agreement.
Yeah. So what's the timing? Is there
so
what's the
hopefully
next steps, I
Yeah.
should say? Because there's probably a few more steps that need to be
So
taken.
just the other day, I received the concept plan,
Okay.
the final concept drawing. And again, this has been since the lease agreement has started and after the survey and after we found out about the soil, this is how long it takes
Yeah.
to get these sort of drawings. So I just got a concept plan from the engineer at the end of last week. I should hopefully have estimated costs this week. And then the rec commission will meet the third Thursday of every month,
Okay.
and we'll discuss that. And if the vote goes well, we could start.
Okay. So winter won't be a factor.
Well, of course,
It will.
Yes, it will. But hopefully, we'll get a mild winter.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll get a mild winter. So, and hopefully, well, the pricing comes back and it's doable.
In par with the budget.
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to ask you, Angie.
Sure.
There has been some criticism,
Mhm.
right? The Board of Ed constantly brings up, I mean, they showed up at the council,
Mhm.
a few of the members,
Mhm.
speaking on behalf of themselves, I guess.
Mhm.
But how can we improve the communication going forward? Obviously, I know that the two of you are looking out for the residents of Berkeley Heights and what is in the best interest of that property for all residents, not the school board. How can we improve this, I guess, reputation that they're trying to put on you for communication and transparency?
Yeah. Well, you know, I love collaborating, and I've had a great collaboration with Debbie, and she's done a really great job the last 8 years pushing this forward. I think anyone else would have given up. So I give you a lot of credit and a lot of gratitude for that. You know, there was a period of time, I mean, when I first became mayor, that the mayor, council president, and the board president would always meet. And that happened pretty consistently. And there was a period of time where that hasn't happened. I know with the lease agreement, I did reach out to the board president and vice president, along with council president Foster, and we were meeting on probably a monthly basis. With anything else, when summer comes along, those meetings sort of fall by the wayside, and you have to sort of get them back going again. So I would really be open to doing that. There's a liaison from the Board of Education that is assigned to the Rec Commission.
Okay.
So hopefully that information, I'm sure it does, gets back to the board through that liaison, which I think is a really great idea. And then in the lease agreement, there is to be quarterly conversations between our, not the rec commission, you know, volunteers, but the rec department and the athletic department. So that's something, I'm not sure that that's happened. I think we're probably close to the quarter mark, maybe. It just hasn't been scheduled yet. So there's many mechanisms here to make sure that the communication improves. So that's what I would tell you.
Okay, yeah. And it's just different people, different wants, and different needs of the per se administration and elected officials, I guess. So it's understandable, but there's nothing nefarious going on, and you are looking out for the best interest of the town.
Yeah, the bottom line is, and we say it all the time, look, we have a growing community. Not just with the redevelopment projects that have been built and are now occupied, but we have another big one, the former King site. Those people are moving into town. We have another affordable housing obligation to meet for the next 10 years. And once those projects are built, more people are coming to town. And we have to provide them services. And one of the basic services that need to be provided is recreation.
Right.
Yes.
I see so many people, I don't know if it's a byproduct of COVID or it's just a change in culture. 7:30, you know, I leave town hall and it's fairly dark outside. Plainfield Avenue is crawling with people, walking their dogs, biking, you know, couples holding hands, whatever the case may be. And that's joyful for me, but I also realize there's a need that we have to anticipate in making sure that there are recreational opportunities for children, for middle-aged folks, for older folks, you know, for everyone in the community.
So that sounds fantastic. So
more to come.
Yeah.
More to come.
So I think that we covered all of my questions. Is there any other message you would like to get out to my readers?
Listen, you know, we enjoy the things that we're doing in rec. I'm really proud of them. I know Debbie and the commission are really proud. Check out their website. You know, it's not just this grass field. There's a lot of programming going on. There's a lot of community events that they provide, as does the library and some of our other committees. So just get involved in the town. How about that? That's final parting words.
It's built on volunteers.
Yes.
So thank you for your time, and I appreciate you filling me in and updating me on the status of the fields.
Our pleasure.
All right.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you.